Welcome back to another glorious episode of Schematics. And today I have some serious psycho storytelling for you that you just can't make up. And it is 1000% true. And it presents a real tested philosophy and concept. It's not a theory of everything itself, but it recognizes that, well, let's just say after living in nature for several years in isolation, no phone, no bank account, right? Eating a nutritionaldiversity.com diet and overcoming the hardest challenges life had presented at this point, and boy, was I prepared. And yes, I do believe in that quote where you are giving what you can handle. Many people fail. Many people handle it the wrong way. They don't do the right thing. They don't tell the truth. And every spectrum below the absolute most valuable, valiant, honorable, honest activity that could be done in the situation, which is the one true destiny, potentially destiny path for you. You know, you can reach those highest marks. And that is what I would advise everyone here to do. So let's get right into the story here. So, true story. I'm coming back from 10-month deployment in the Persian Gulf. You know, a superstar service member in the United States Navy, coming back on the fastest carrier. We just went out on search for weapons of mass destruction. I'm a chemical, biological, and radiological warfare defense specialist at that time. Also a firefight and a firefighting team leader at that time. And I had been accommodated by my strike group admiral, which is a pretty big deal. And I'm like, man, I want to meet my dad now. Look at this. He would be proud of me. We're headed back, right? I go on Liberty. My father and I are from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Well, he was working in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He did 30 years at Sandia National Laboratories there. He is an incredible man. I respect him insane. It's really a blessing to have such a respectable man as a father who takes care of business, who kept his life clean, who would never tell a lie, who has a pure soul and hardworking ethics. All he does is work, just like me. And I can see that we were together until I was 10, and so much. I mean, everything from the speed bag to the gym to the sports to the computers, to the technical inclinations that he gave me that other kids my age were not getting at that time. I had a scientist father. He's super smart, and he's got an excellent character. It's a huge advantage that I've had over a lot of the other kids I really ended up coming up with in that 90s Albuquerque one-of-a-time era, just 100 years after Billy the Kid and the Renegades were there, right? This real cowboy time period where you'll get into a lot of hooks, but the kids weren't shooting each other. Chances are another cowboy cat's picking you up and saying you did a good job with your name. It had a real... But people took care of business and did amazing things coming from incredible poverties, really pulling it off. Albuquerque was a very Spartan town. I'm lucky to have been from there and that particular era over and over, over again. I'm blessed to have 5 fingers and 5 toes. So, So I'm coming back and I'm praying, I'd like to meet my dad. So I'm going on Liberty from Norfolk, Virginia, which I get a flight straight to Albuquerque from BWI. It's subsidized out of that airport a lot of times, right? I'm walking on the flight. A guy sneezes. I turn to say, bless you. Who is it? My father. I didn't say anything. I went to the back of the plane. I sat down. I didn't want to spook anybody. There wasn't a problem, but I didn't know, And the last time he probably saw me was on the TV on a program called Crime Stoppers. Because, well, long story short, we got separated and things went sour because my mom's a horrible individual. And so you really got to be thankful for your great parent at that point also, right? And so we rekindled, and it's been an excellent relationship. I'm more thankful for this is my number one human being on the planet. There's nobody that I care about more than my father now, and that's sad in one way, but really excellent in another way, and he really deserves that. And I'm really happy. We've both worked very hard to have a relationship with each other, and I am there for my dad. And whatever he needs, man, whatever he needs. And I realize that the time is limited. So I'm in the back seat, and I passed my military ID to the stewardess. I said, I think that's my dad up there. Will you let her know the seat's open next to me? My dad's a mathematician. I've recorded him in 3 videos in 3 countries saying, what are the chances of that happening? Zero chance. There's no chance of that happening. It's crazy that happened, That's just... So, then, you ready for some serious psycho schematics here? This is unbelievable psycho schematics right here. Then, I was always much more like my Uncle Bo, my dad's brother, who I was infatuated with this guy. I idolized this guy. And I'm built like him, right? I have the same story as him. Horrible mother. I had to go make my own way, right? At a young age, right? My dad didn't, because of my grandmother and because my dad was an A gamer in school, really, right? So I'm more rough and tough like this younger brother, my dad's younger brother, Bo, and who's also very spiritual. And I had like a 10-year, almost priestly, insanely committed Christian chapter when I was in the military, and I was then flipping houses. I was real success story in Philadelphia, Temple University. And then my Uncle Bo was abruptly shot in the back of the head. And I was going to make a surprise visit to him, right? But he's not my girlfriend, so we're not talking all the time or whatever. And I'm starting to it's getting time where I'm going to go down there, and I'm starting to get excited about this Caribbean island. I should have been at 2 years before, but I started knocking it out of the park with this real estate gig. And that was a high pressure, go, 18-hour day thing. But I was killing it, My tax returns are there to prove. And so then I come to find out what happened, pick up the pieces, at least find out what his life was like there before the pieces of debris dissipate and you can't find out nothing, right? I was building a building. Put that on pause. Sorry, everybody. I got to go do this. 3-week round trip ticket to go handle business, find out what's what, right? Because, check this out. 1 minute after the author, this is not a lie, 1 minute after the author pushed the public button, for some reason, I start looking at 12 o'clock at night. I got up at 4 or 5 every day at that time. But I shouldn't have been looking at anything at 12, 1 o'clock at night. But that's when this guy, Don Winter, publishes the first article saying, I think this person was killed by this, right? Boom. Later, Playboy article, Dateline special about these murders, right? I read the headline. I think these two people are killed. I'm like, I don't want to read that. I want to read, but the website says, Panama information translated to English. So I scroll down. I was like, I want to just read about fish or whatever. So I scroll down on my iPhone and I put my finger on my uncle's name. A name that he changed it to. He changed his name a couple of times and he had a nickname. The nickname, I think it was the nickname he had published. No, it was his changed name that was published. I put my finger right on it. A minute after the publishing. We thought it was an hour. But there's no daylight savings time in Panama. It wasn't an hour. It was 1 minute. And I texted my dad right as I found it. And he's a witness to this as well. This phenomenal. And then it turns out the plot thickens even more. Can you believe? And this serial killer just killed a string of saints. Truly. And geniuses. And people who could come from hell and get out. And do great things. Right? And get serious, And now all the stories, especially with my Uncle Ball, I'm telling you, so I come down here for that. And there was a huge plan to jail me on false pretenses and false charges by my kid's mother, who was scorned because I left her. Because she's dubious as hell can be. Oh, and the skeletons are so stacked up so high. Now, 50 layers of child abuse. I'll just keep going in this. Okay, so I'm coming down here. The investigation, it's in the confession. Those are the remains right there of Bo. But there's no scientific evidence for them to release the death certificate. So I provide DNA to find out that my mother, the whore that she is, the fucking person user, piece of shit, that she, two-faced lying piece of shit that she is, doesn't give ever fuck, never will tell the truth about the damages that she's done in so many people's lives. Just for fucking stupid little kicks and dumbass benefits. Nobody would ever think a person would do that much dubious shit for that little reward. It doesn't even make sense. That kind of person cheated on my father with his brother. And that's actually my biological father. I'm just finding out. I didn't get to know him. I'm finding out he's my biological father only because he got shot in the back of the head. She didn't tell anyone, and there was I was obsessed with the guy. She watched me be obsessed with the guy. She knows. My dad has a mental reference of when it happened. She knows what she's done. And she drank, and she's been a victim, and she's been a car accident victim, and she's been scamming off of this victim bullshit the whole fucking time. She's made hundreds of thousands of dollars in bullshit car accidents. She's a pill junkie, child abuser, grandchild abuser. Right? And I think it's because of the severity of the evils in some of the players in our particular life charade. And most definitely, it's because of the commitment to goodness and good and honesty and doing the right thing that me and my dad seem to have, and my exchange brother and my uncle had, my biological dad, who was my uncle, had. It definitely has to do with that we continue to have these divine interventions and get saved. I want to add to you that when my mother put me in juvie jails, in hindsight, I'm looking back, right, to get a check off my head. I was the youngest kid in there. Most of the guys in there were years older. They did shit wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. That's another infuriation. I became a little miniature monster, man. And that shit's fucked up. Not cool. Not fair. There's no bad kids. There's only bad parents. Kids are to be protected. Child abuse, man, is the fucking biggest holdup. I would have been a legendary boxer or fucking a legendary this, that, or like, you know what I mean? My favorite Mike Tyson quote, because it's so honest, is no custo amato, no Mike Tyson. If I would have had a custo amato and I wouldn't have had to deal with this shit, but I was given opportunities to break out, completely drugged out of my mind. Fucking, I was given, oh man, the dramatic storytelling that I could do. Long story short, I break out of the juvie joint. I'm selling some weed at 12 years old to fucking dudes on the state fair lot. One of them sees the potential in me. He's an escaped dude too. He's muscle bound. Girls are throwing themselves all over him. He's got obvious talent and jazz. He starts showing me how to make 400 to 1,500 a day. I'm 13. He knew it would be an advantage too. Everybody, you know what I mean? And he got me to the point where I was talking people out of my cut, a 25% or 35% cut being 300 to 1,500 a day. I was real talented at this. I did it a few times throughout my life, right, or whatever. At these state fairs, you know, right? So, but anyway, we're in Birmingham, Alabama. He's teaching me about God every day. He's being a good killer, you know, a good old schooler, really truly looking out, and really doing a good job with his little sponsorship. He could tell the situation I was in, you know. I've looked out for little kids like this my whole time, too, right? So now I'm that guy. But anyway, and I'm sure he's that cat to look out for a lot of young people, too. I know he has, because I ran into some of them. And we ran in, and it was all hugs and cool, and they had just, you know, kind of parted ways, but they respected the teacher, you know. Anyway, but he taught me about God, and in Birmingham, Alabama, in the rain, I went down and I got on my knees and I dramatically said, you know, God, I want to be Jesus. I want to be with you. I want to be an archangel in your thing. I want to earn that. And man, has he given me the Jedi training. Oh, so I've been on that track, right? And people, and I walk alone a lot of times. People see that, oh, I'm not really placating. I'm just asking questions about them. I'm not one of these I'm not them. Just talking about myself, right? I want to donate to you the real schematic here that there is another side. I'm coming to you, at least in these videos, in this channel, with a recognition of the other side and the ability for the other side to look out for its people, those people who are not just praying and doing good things, but are picking up the shovel, you know, and they don't care about what everyone else thinks in this naysayer, you know, Luciferian world. They don't give a shit about that. They see the psyop. Because they have experiential diversity, because they know your life is your adventure. You got big adventure, you got big wisdom, you got big life, you got big energy, you got big motivation. It's a snowball effect. It's momentum, ladies and gentlemen. And one night of drinking, one night of stupid, one night of whatever is going to stop that momentum. This is a sacrifice in dedication, a blade sharpening that if you skip steps, if you don't do it properly, your blade is not going to be as sharp as the next samurai's, and you're not going to win. And I'm just a winner that wants to see you win. So I want to give you the blueprint, the winning blueprint. And I'll tell you this, man, that old schooler, I love you, Leroy Reynolds, is a Jedi master, and he saved my life over and over and over again. And something happened right there. Something happened right there where I actually had a real Pulp Fiction scene, and there is testimony that hundreds of people saw it. I had other ones that people didn't see, but I tell about this one because a lot of people saw it, and the testimonies are in our bad breaking, real true Albuquerque stories, right? And I'll put a link to that video where we're talking about that instance that happened at that particular chapter in Albuquerque history, and it's good. It's good to have the protection of God, which is a real thing. There likely is a real structure of angels looking out and reporting back and tapping you on the shoulder. There's definitely a separation of these two energies, and the dark people are talking ideas into your head that are not yours, and it is your responsibility to be aware of that and to know what that is and to identify it correctly and to shut it down hard. That's blade sharpening. That's discipline, right? That's the schematics that you need, right? Now, near-death experience consistencies are very easy to add up, and well-articulated authors have put that stuff together. And so I'm very thankful for that, and I've taken the time to research all of that, and that's an important study for a lot of people to get, and can be very reinforcing of an already cultivated realization that what you want to be, if you've made that decision, maybe not everybody's going to make that decision. Not everybody wants to be an angelic entity. They don't. A lot of people are just fucked. I don't know. I don't know what happened. The victim thing, the lack of gratitude thing. But if you use this life, this blessing of a life, to conduct evil, I'm just glad I'm not that. I'm just glad that's not me, and I'm sorry that it's you. But I do realize the beautiful dynamics that nature does not provide any kind of highly manipulative, highly deceptive, prince of deception, evil for us to overcome, except in those who choose to perform it out of their own free will and donate their souls to the fire so that we can get bigger sets of wings in stage 2. Us. Thank you. We love you. Hua. We couldn't do it without you. Where's our big overcoming? You're it. You shouldn't have drifted. That's the lamest thing about all of you that fall. You drifted there. You didn't even want to be there either. You don't want to be there now. You drifted and you lacked the strength and you lacked the character to do the hard stuff, to give people credit where it's due, to tell the truth, to live the truth. It's hard guy stuff, no doubt about it. You came to this life to get strong. All challenges are opportunities to build strength. Hua? Pretty psycho, that story. Pretty psycho, that schematic, right? And the saga does continue. Follow along. I love you. I'm always praying for you. And then, in fact, let's just go ahead real quick and, dear Great Spirit, we respect you. We appreciate you. We love you. We are always thinking of you. It is our intention and commitment and discipline to do the best we can in this life, to serve our brothers and sisters the best we can. And that includes all the plant and animal species and everything everywhere. And we're just going to be positive paradise builders in the line following the most beautiful shine and leadership. And we want to be our best, to do our best. And we love you. We love this opportunity. Thank you. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ, in the name of the Great Spirit, however he chooses to be recognized, and beyond. We just pour our thanks and love and thank you and love you. Amen. Right? Right? Isn't that what we're doing here? Anyone who's not doing that, who's stuck in some conflict mode, You are a product of your environment, a victim of programming by soap operas. You might call them politics or something else. Stay tough.